What's going on, YouTube?
Welcome in.
Tis the Raise Hell Presdel podcast.
That it is where we should explain sein. Sorry, I'm listening to my wife yell at people. I was gonna say the theoretical. Sorry.
Anywho's, I'm Voodoo.
Anyway, I'm JT Dallas.
Welcome to a podcast of a couple of dudes who know somewhat decent amount of stuff about NASCAR, but
A lot we learned this last
put it all
year.
together.
A lot we just learned this last year.
Yeah.
So,
anywho's, what you got going on, man?
oh, just living life. I got to put a garden in for my daughters. That's kept me a little busy. I have been working my butt off.
No, I heard you almost say it. PG, man, PG.
Yeah. I've been working my tail off. That's about all I can say.
Yeah.
Started in the garden for my kids. It's the first garden I've ever done, so fingers crossed it doesn't die. Trying my best. So
Gotcha.
what's up with you? What's new with you?
Well, today's my wife's birthday, so gonna go
And you
spend
did
some
share
time
the
with
new
her
podcast.
when we get done with this.
You did? Huh? I didn't ditch you to watch a race. You were with me at that race, thank you. And you chose to go.
Started
That's
a war
fair.
over there.
That's
Anywho's, it was a great race yesterday. Not only the one we're talking about, but the one that I participated in virtually.
Oh, okay. Rub it in. Unfortunately, I did not get to race.
Just keep getting bad luck charms over there going on or something.
You can get out.
Give me just a minute. If you want to go ahead and roll the intro,
Well, I got a surprise
Right
for
back.
you as far as the intro.
Ooh, let's see it.
The leaders enter the last lap in a dead heat.
Keep racing. Is it worth the risk to keep on going?
Sure, to win.
Keep racing.
Season long.
About some little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else. And he's one that drives like a little about.
I hope you enjoyed our new / throw it in every once in a while intro. It's something I threw together. It's a little long, so we probably won't use it all the time, but
Yeah, we'll see. Anywho's, yeah. Guess we all just jump straight into it, huh?
let's do it.
We got a handful of things to talk about
Handle
as far as the
tag,
post-race
we do.
breakdown.
We do. So I'll go ahead and start off with trucks if you're cool with it.
Sure.
All right. So the 07 team was fined $2,500 for a lug nut from this weekend. That's just for trucks. In Xfinity, the number 11, 19, 26, and 88 were fined $5,000. I don't really understand why there's such a big difference because they go similar speeds.
Well, I just think it's a level up than the trucks.
True. I didn't think about that one. But if you want, you can go ahead and run through the cup.
All right. So got a couple of suspensions for them loose wheels that came off. Over at what race was that? Oh yeah, Las Vegas. So Richard RCR's number 8 team, the Jackman, Joseph Moser, and the tire changer Shiloh Moser. Wonder if they're related. couldn't be.
Don't know. Awesome.
Both of the either way, if they were, they get to hang out a little bit more because they're both suspended for that loose wheel. And then JGR's number 19 team, the Jackman Caleb Dirks and the tire changer Daniel Smith, also suspended for that loose wheel from their team.
Big oof.
And we got just a general NASCAR penalty as well.
Yeah, man, this is a little sketchy, honestly. So we'll start off with the number 6 NCS rear changer.
NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just read it. I knew what you were saying. I was just, but Josiah Wright, okay. Corbin's, is that Skinner or Sklinner?
Sklinner, I think.
Sklinner, okay. The number 74 of the Xfinity Series, Jackman. They have both been suspended for the substance abuse policies, so had some illegals in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, not.
Don't have all the details, but they're taking something they ain't supposed to take. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Hashtag, who was it? Casey Mears? Was that? Who was it? There was a driver that got like raided and found like methamphetamine or something like that. I wanted to say Casey Mears, but that doesn't sound right when it comes out of my mouth.
Might have to look that one up. Don't need to start no rumors for our amazing audience.
Yeah.
A humongous, amazing audience.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We do have the results for the ARCA race at Five Flag Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Pensacola 150 for the ARCA Menards Series East Division. Your poll went to none other than the number 18 of Mr. Max Reeves, who also won the race. And rounding out your top 5, you got the number 76 of Cole Raz, the 23 of Tyler Reef in 3rd, 28 of Connor Mozak in 4th, and then finally in 5th, you got the 79 of Isaac Kitzmiller.
Apparently, the I understand you just did the top 5 of the ARCA, but apparently the I'm trying to think of the words that I'm trying. The substance abuse suspensions is more prevalent than at least I thought. One of the most famous being Jeremy Mayfield is who I was thinking of.
And that's definitely not Casey Mears, but
no, well, I was thinking of the 19 because I think Casey Mears ran the 19 for a while, and then Mayfield took over, or one or vice versa. But apparently, some of the drivers that have been suspended for substance abuse includes, of course, Jeremy Mayfield, Randy Lanier, Tim Richmond, Aaron Fike, and no other than the Dinger himself, Mr. AJ. They have all been suspended for substance abuse. So whether that be drunk or having something in their system they shouldn't have, which is crazy. But enough of that being said, I went down my tangent. So sorry. In 6th place is the number 4 of Carson Brown. Following behind him is the 56 of Timmy Hill. In 8th is the 93 of London McKenzie. The 95 of Hunter Wright is in 9th. And the 11th of Zachary Tinkle is in 10th. Man, what an unfortunate last name. Because I was going to say that dude gets bullied like no other.
Think he ever pees in his race suit?
He'd have to. Ought to be like that ought to be his thing. You know, you got the pizza man. And he got
the PP man.
The PP man.
Mr. Tinkle.
Man, I would buy a shirt that says the PP man. Have a yellow car.
All right. Yeah, we need to move on. Continue down this rabbit hole. Moving on to the Truck Series. Baptist Health 200.
Yes, sir. And starting off with that.
Here comes the money.
All right. The purse for the Baptist Health 200 was $782,900. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I don't know if y'all heard it, but my daughter was singing "Money, money, money."
So I don't know if we want to continue covering the purse this season because it, like every race
That
other
seems
than
about-
every other race than Daytona, it's been the exact same dollar amount.
Exact same, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
thinking they restructured to where they're just evenly given out amongst all the races.
yeah. I mean, the only other one we might cover would be the All-Star race because the winner of that gets $1 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we might restructure. Who knows?
They could donate 999,000 of it to me if they wanted to.
Right.
Anywho,
If they did that, I would gladly sponsor a car.
right.
Anyway, Mr. Corey Heim in the number
For a half a
11.
race.
For half a race. Corey Heim in the number 11 took the pole. There were no D&Qs, so everybody got to race. And surprisingly, there was no one to the rear for unapproved adjustments or anything. So pretty clean race. But of course, it was almost the Corey Heim show with him taking the stage 1 and 2. But unfortunately, Kyle Larson had to come in there and block him out and win it. So,
Yep.
and then the Lane Riggs come in behind him in the 34. Corey Heim finished a cool third. Tyler Ankrum finished fourth in the 18. And the 19 of Daniel Hemrick, that's a familiar name, finished fifth.
Former Cup driver. Rounding out your top 10, starting off with the Mellow Man himself in the 44, Mr. Ross Chastain. I need to make a little merch thing for him. Mellow Man.
Yeah.
Jake Garcia in the 13 followed him up in 7th. Then 8th was the 38 of Chandler Smith, which he also finished 8th last week. And then finishing in his car numbers position, the number 9 in 9th of Grant Enfinger. And the 45 Caden Honeycutt taking the final spot in your top 10. If I could put
know we
words
talked
together
about
right,
it.
that'd be great.
Right. That's the one I'm struggling with. I know we talked about it a little bit, but how do you feel about the Cup guys coming down to other series? Like the Xfinity, I kind of understand, but I think they should not let them race in trucks. I feel like it's just not really sporting, I guess would be the word that I'm trying to think of NASCAR. Be like, oh, here's this race that you like, if you win, you could get into the playoffs. But also we're gonna throw these guys in here that's been doing it a lot longer than you have and that are like the main, show.
Yeah. And it always, not always, but a lot of the time it seems like when it's one of those Cup guys, they're hitting the top 5 almost guaranteed.
Well, I mean, like look in the top 10, we have what is it?
Just 2.
3. Well, I counted Daniel Hemrick because he was a Cup guy there for me.
Yeah, but he's full time down there now.
True, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, and then when these guys get there, they come with better equipment just because they're full-fledged teams. And I'm sorry, you can say whatever you want. You're not going to tell me Kyle Larson. I don't know what team he was running, but you're not telling me he's not going to get help from Hendrick. Same with Ross Chastain and Trackhouse.
Well, Mr. Fritz said he loves the Cup guys and sprint cars, except that Gibbs experiment. That wreck made him uneasy.
Yeah. The only positive thing that I could put on this, just to be devil's advocate, is it sells a lot more tickets when you know that the bigger guys are going to be there as well. I mean, that's like really the only positive that I could.
I need to reach out to the Wrap It Up guys and see how they get the chat message to show up on stream while they're live.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'm sure it's
cool.
just a plug-in, like an OBS plug-in or something.
Probably so. That'd be cool to be able to just like have one of them show up on there.
That would be cool.
Anywho's, couple of truck drivers that we monitor outside of the top 10. In 24th, Mr. Malcolm in the Middle himself. 33 of Frankie Muniz. And then in 26th, Miss Tony Branninger in that number 5 truck.
Sir, the Xfinity fastest lap goes to Ross Chastain on lap 97 with a cool 32.543.
With
There
him
were
getting
no
the
issues.
fastest lap, that means nobody collecting points in the trucks got that extra point.
Exactly. That's another thing that I get. It's a catch-22.
It is.
I feel like if they were going to do that, they should give those points, like, to the next person under that's not in the next full-time person. That's just me.
Yeah.
But anywho, moving on to the Hard Rock Bet 300.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to got to show up on here too.
You should be sorry. Anyway, the purse, I will take the last 3 digits. I will be completely happy with that one.
I'll just take the last 2.
Shoot, you ain't lying. I'd take the last one and be happy. Anyway, the purse was $1,651,939. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
That's about $1,651,930 more dollars than I have to my name.
Man.
Go ahead.
All right, so your poll went to Mr. Taylor Gray in the 54. That's a new name we hadn't seen up there on that poll this season. Did have one D&Q, the 74 of Dawson Cram. And you did have a few guys going to the rear. First off, you got unapproved adjustment for Mr. Brandon Jones in lot 20 team. Josh Williams was battling pneumonia, so he actually had somebody else practicing qualify his car. So because he started, he had to go to the rear. And then at track inspection penalty for the 28 of Kyle Sieg.
Yep. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
The number 8 that Junior Motorsports, Sammy Smith took stage 1. And of course, there's your boy Kyle Larson again, because, he can't win enough in the Cup Series. He has to come and mess up everybody else. He didn't win, by the way. I'm just letting you know he did not win.
He did not
but he
pull the
took stage
sweep.
2. And then speaking of Junior Motorsports, that number 7 of Justin Allgaier took win, and he won the Dash for Cash bonus of $100,000. Sam Mayer come behind him in the 41. Austin Hill came in 3rd in his 21. And of course, there's your boy 17 of Kyle Larson. Well, Cash Money himself came in 4th, followed. Oh my Lord, followed. I'll get it out eventually. Fritz,
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry if you're
You got
struggling
an
with
hour.
it.
Take your time.
Yeah, right. Sheldon Creed was behind him in 5th in that 00. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, man. Rounding out your top 10, starting with the number 2 of Jesse Love in 6th. Then Brandon Jones came all the way from the back to finish in 7th. The 48 of Nick Sanchez in 8th. Daniel Dye in 10th. Well, and the number 10 came in 9th. And then Carson Quaffle in the number 1 came in 10th.
Yes, sir.
You got your podcast tracker. Mr. Fast Pasta in the 42 came in 18th. Then unfortunately, Mr. Matt DiBurrito in that 99 had an electrical issue on lap 179, took him out of the race. Wound up finishing in 36th.
Justin Allgaier got the Xfinity fastest lap on lap 201 with a 33.494. Ooh, that's sailing, boy. There were no post-race tech.
Funny is that Xfinity fastest lap, I think, was that's slower than the trucks.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. 32.5 and 33.4. Yeah, so that was almost a full second slower.
You know what else is very crappy? Is the trucks is a 32.5. The Cup was only 0.2 of a second faster.
Man, Melon Man was cooking.
Like they could use some horsepower in them Cup cars or something. Mm-mm. Moving on. Speaking of the Cup Series.
Moving on.
Great Talk Wireless 400. Got a big old chunk of change for the winner. Well, not for the winner, but for the purse here. $11 million plus $55,250 to go on the back of it. That'd be $11,055,250 if you couldn't add those together.
All right.
Your poll goes to Mr. Alex Bowman. Nobody DNQ'd because they only had 37 cars. But we did have one go to the rear, Mr. Eric Jones, during, I don't know if it was qualifying or practice, one of the two. I think they ran over something and put a big old hole in the floor, so they had to work on that. And stage one went to Mr. none other than Ryan Blaney. Stage two went to Mr. Progressive himself, Denny Hamlin.
Yes, sir. And surprise, surprise, Cash Money took it.
Yeah, but he didn't win all three, so no weekend sweep for him.
True. You know who I was actually really surprised by? Just because we haven't seen him recently.
Who's that?
Oh, Alex Bowman. We haven't really seen very much of him till this week.
We hadn't really seen much of Justin Haley neither.
That is very true. But hopefully, Chase Briscoe broke his streak of bad luck because, well, obviously he did because he finished in the top 5. But I can go ahead and read those off for you real quick. Of course, Cash Money in that number 5 took the first position. Second was Alex Bowman, the showman, in the 48. Third was old Bubbles himself in the 23. Chase Briscoe was in the 19. In the 19 was 4th. And 5th was old Denny Hamlin, Cucumber Cowboy, in the 11 Progressive car.
We have merch for him already. Just saying.
We do. Yeah, it looks something like this.
I was about to say you're gonna pull your whole speaker over that you put the big old sticker on.
That speaker's across the room. But I did have my water bottle right there, so.
Yeah, so Mr. I'm gonna rotate a paint scheme every week. Chris Buescher came in 6th. Then the Dinger, we were talking about him earlier. He came in 7th. Might need to get tested again. Tyler Reddick in the 45 came in 8th. The Ryan Prieston at 60 grabbed the top 10 by finishing in 9th. And then Justin Haley in the 7th came in 10th.
This does mark an end for this season. This is the first race that Willie B is not top 10 this season.
Yeah. It's true. His strong start has come to an end.
Yes, sir. Bubbles himself took the Xfinity fastest lap on lap 218 with a 32.335.
Just 0.2 of a second quicker than the trucks.
It's almost like we should give them 300 more horsepower.
Yeah. No issues in post-race tech. Nobody to research and development. I didn't put that in there. It'd be all right.
Are you ready to move on to our rookies?
I don't know. Are you ready to move on to our rookies?
Can I change rookies?
Nope. Although we both kind of did garbage this week.
Yeah, but man, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping SVG would actually do a little bit better. He's kind of been belly flopping around. It's kind of worrying me.
Yeah.
So in case you guys don't know, at the beginning of the season, Voodoo and I have a small competition going. There's nothing on the line, just a friendly competition.
Bragging rights, boy.
But we each picked one of the rookies this season. which of course there was only 2. And we're seeing who gets it at the end of the season. So who knows? One of us might come out at a late season, breakthrough and become a champion on the rookie year. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't think so. But
Yeah, I doubt
by the looks of it, I doubt both of us are even making it to the
P
playoffs,
word.
unless SVG pulls off like a road course win or something.
We'll see. Anywho's, my guy is Mr. Riley Herbst. Started in 19th, finished in 33rd. Now is 31st in standing, so he fell back a bit with 83 points.
Yes, sir. And mine, of course, is SVG or Shane Van Gisbergen, however you want his name to be said. He started 35th and finished 32nd. It's currently sitting 33rd in points with only 77. I really need to get a Stream Deck so I can program more noises.
I need to program noises because I already have a Stream Deck. Moving on to RHPD Motorsports, another little side bet competition we got going on.
Yeah, this is like a pot. Ooh.
You can talk to her. All right.
Okay, I'm not sure. So this is basically last season for our 25 sub special, I think is what it was. We set up a fantasy race team. We picked 4 drivers that, of course, were already on the field, and we put them in our numbers, and we seen where we stacked up at the end of the season. This year we kind of did a little different. We did it kind of the same way we did our rookies. We each picked 2 drivers, and we're going to see where they stand after the season. And I'll let you go first.
Thank you. Number 37 Mountain Dew car, Carson Hocevar. Started in 15th and unfortunately had an engine issue on lap 184. One of those 2 that I told you blew up. He wound up finishing dead last. And he is now 27th in standings with a mere 95 points. But then you got your Ally Mobile, the number 73 of Tyler Reddick. Started in 20th and got himself a top 10 by finishing in 8th. He is now 4th in standings with 189 points.
Yes, sir. And then in my 55 Camry, Bass Pro Shop, we got Cole Custer, who started 24th, finished way back in 28th. Not a great day. He's currently 35 in points with only 56. But my 56 NOS machine has Chris Bell in it, who started 16th. Not the best finish at 29th, but he is currently sitting 5th in points with 186.
Saying my team's doing better.
What was that? How many wins you got?
It don't matter about wins, because
I'm already in the playoff.
okay. I technically am on points right now too, so.
Yeah, on points. I'm guaranteed no matter what happens. I could finish last every race this season and then still be in the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and then that momentum would be very crappy.
It would be, but don't get a big head just because you finished first in our league yesterday.
Did I? Or are you? Oh no, you're talking about the.
Yeah, I'm talking about the legit.
Yeah. I don't know what I did on fantasy. I didn't even check to see.
I haven't even looked. I changed my drivers, but I was
probably crappy.
yesterday. Yeah.
And Blaney and Hocevar starting. They both decided to blow engines in the 3rd stage. That's convenient.
Nice.
Anywho's moving on to our trackside trends.
Alrighty, then we got some NASCAR updates, starting with Kevin Harvick. He's named in Texas Motorsports Hall of Fame, so pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry, the thing didn't change the text it was supposed to. News. Your little Mr. Christopher Bell at Las Vegas decided to stop and Chase Briscoe's stall to get that wheel tightened up. Well, NASCAR decided to clarify the rule on that. So they say that you cannot put in another team's stall for adjustments, or else you risk a bigger penalty and starting at the tail end of the longest line, or a pass-through penalty. Only safety issues would be considered merely pitting outside of the box. So even though he pitted in a completely different box and got his lug nut tightened, it was technically a safety issue. So he would only get hit with starting at the tail end of the longest line, which is better than getting a couple of guys suspended for a couple of races because your wheel falls off.
Right. Also, I was watching an interview about that whole situation with Chris Bell's crew chief, which I forget his name. Honestly, I'm sorry.
They are. Hey, you're technically in your pit box still.
Right. If you could get all four tires in your paint and not hang out in somebody else's, it doesn't matter. You could set that car if you want, as long as it's in your box. But anyway, he was talking about how NASCAR reached out to him, and they do still get a smaller penalty. It's just not as, at least from what I understand, it's not as major the normal pitting outside your box penalty. But like he was talking about some of the things that could go wrong with a loose tire, that just tire flying off and hitting in the stands. Like, we've seen it happen before. That's why the catch fencers are there. Not only that, but like a tire could come off and hit another car. It's just not a good deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand NASCAR's reiteration on this, I guess would be the word. Like, we've seen, what was it that I want to say it was a race last year that we seen a drill, like a DeWalt drill, get drug around the track, and jacks were drug, and I don't know. A lot of people
remember that Sawzall that got
that's what it was. I said a drill, but it's the Sawzall, yeah, because they got drug around the track, and then they tested it and it still worked. Yeah,
it freaking worked, dude.
But I mean, I get the safety issues, because you don't want a jack coming at you at 200 miles an hour. It's just, you know what I mean? And then you get a lot of people who are like, well, why don't they just communicate better? And you got to step back and think that these pit stops are happening in like 6 seconds. And you've got like 8, or I say 6, it's probably about 10 seconds. And you got about 8 guys standing around trying to get something done, where it's super loud, it's super hot, everybody's frustrated. It's just a lot of factors that play into it. I'm glad NASCAR kind of like reiterated, like, hey, you can do it. You're still going to get like maybe a monetary penalty. But or you'll have to start. I think it's that you start at the back of the field, I think is what it is.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is.
But I mean, if that will save you from going a lap down, that's a whole lot better. So, I mean, I understand 100% of what the heck is going on over at NASCAR. I like that rule change.
Yeah, we'll see. Moving on,
as long as Oscar doesn't spin you out on your
team changes. We got some news just a couple hours ago for the Busch family. The first time that Mr. Kyle Busch is going to go head to head against old Braxton Busch, his 9-year-old son. That'll be at Millbridge Speedway this Wednesday. So, Big Busch versus Little Busch. I bet you Little Busch is going to win.
Sorry.
Unacceptable.
I know. Anyway. So JGR has adopted Progressive as a primary sponsor for Denny Hamlin. Probably, of course, replacing FedEx. Be my assumption.
No, I'd say so.
Yeah. So
Especially
starting,
with the
of
amount
course,
of
this
races
past,
they're doing.
yeah. Starting this past weekend at Homestead, it has a total of 18 races. So, of course, we have Homestead, Martinsville, Bristol, Talladega, Texas, Kansas, North Wilkesboro, Nashville, Pocono, Chicago Street Course, Dover, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, Richmond, Gateway, New Hampshire, Charlotte, Roval, and Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's cool to see some like bigger sponsors come back, I guess. I mean, not that Progressive was ever in NASCAR,
I was
but
gonna say, has Progressive ever sponsored NASCAR?
I don't think so. But I was more going down the line of like, you see a lot of these sponsors are kind of like smaller companies, if that makes sense.
What
It's
you
good.
mean, like Gamebridge sponsoring all of their cars?
Yeah, like that's something like that, like or like I don't know. It's just kind of cool to like see a bigger company come and sponsor NASCAR again. I mean, of course, you got like McDonald's and Monster and all that, but like I just feel like a lot of like take a look at the '90s NASCAR, and you will see like Folgers and like everyday brands. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like NASCAR's kind of lost a lot of its monetary sponsor.
NASCAR does need to get back to the everyday person's sponsors
Yeah.
showing up.
I 100% vote for them to get a hold of Wheaties and get me some NASCAR Wheaties boxes again, because the Dale Earnhardt Wheaties boxes were like top tier. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good luck with that.
I know. Ooh, let's go back to Kellogg's. I know they run Kellogg's still. Let's run some Frosted Flakes or something. Run an old Terry's.
A different sponsor, one that's been around for a while, but you see here or there. And United Rentals is returning with Mr. Austin Hill for RCR and that number 33 machine. Gonna be 5 races that they're teamed up for. So you got Darlington, the Chicago Street Course, Daytona, Bristol, and Talladega.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, NASCAR, I feel like these last couple of years, it's grown since what it was like COVID era. And that's just what I like, 2019, 2020, 21, and 22. That's all the years that I put in COVID era. Because, I mean, like, what was it? 20, they
2021
ran,
and 22.
1 year they ran exclusively like iRacing. I think that was 20.
I think so, yeah.
And then like 21, they were able to run their tracks, but nobody could be there to watch them.
Yep, I remember that too.
I mean, I feel, yeah, that's like right when I got back into NASCAR. So watching that, I was like, this is kind of stupid. And then my buddy really pulled me back into it in 22. So, when they actually allowed people to go back in. It's crazy to think about how like the pandemic like changed everything for a minute. You know what I mean? Like long enough for like even me, I was wondering if everything gonna go back to like, are we gonna have to wear, masks everywhere and stuff like that? Which, I mean, I'm glad I eventually got back to it because I hated masks. But
Not getting into that mask debate though, because
no,
I don't want to upset nobody. Moving on to Race Day Horizon.
yes, sir. All right, are you ready to go to the paperclip?
I am ready. Don't judge me on this graphic because I did mess it up in one spot.
Wow.
I promise you one of these days I will get everything perfect, but not today.
If not,
So, starting with Friday, March 28th. At 2:05 p.m., you got your truck practice and qualifying. That'll be on FS2. It's all at Martinsville Speedway and Eastern times, by the way. 4:30 p.m. You got your Xfinity practice and qualifying on the CW app. That's the logo I messed up on. I kept the Truck Series logo up there instead of moving it to Xfinity. But
How dare you?
But at 7:30 p.m. you got your truck race on FS1. Get ready for this mouthful. It's the Boys and Girls Club of the Blue Ridge 200.
You also on the graphic have it at 8 p.m.
Yeah, see. Oh well, tune in 30 minutes earlier than the graphic, but at least it's on FS1.
Right? You'll probably get to where the cars are just now going. Well, no, because that's qualifying. So. Or no, that is a truck race. Yeah, so you'll probably get to like where the trucks are actually going.
Yeah, you might miss like the first couple laps. First and second stage are both 50 laps, and then the third stage is 100 laps. So that's 200 laps total.
200, huh? All right. So starting Saturday, at 2:05 p.m., the Cup practice and qualifying is on Prime. At 4:30 p.m., the NASCAR countdown on CW starts, and at 5, the Xfinity race, which is the Marine Corps 250, is on the CW. The first stage is 60. The second stage is 60. The last stage is 130 for a grand total of 250 laps.
Yeehaw.
Yes, sir. And I'll let you take it, but I'm going to go ahead and roll it into it on
Sunday! Hang on, baby Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
Yes, sir. So all we got is Cup racing on Sunday, which is the way we like it. 1:30 p.m. You got NASCAR race day, and then at 3 o'clock you got the Cookout 400. First stage is 80 laps, second stage is 100 laps, and the third stage is 220 laps for a total of 400 laps of circlage on FS1.
Yes, sir. That's a lot of left turns.
Entry listises.
All right. So starting off with the trucks, you've got 35 trucks this race, because Willie B is going to be running that 07.
Nobody going home because they
sponsored by HendrickCars.com. Most likely.
No, it is.
Yep.
They've already shown it.
Okay, well.
No need to show you all the scheme because you've already seen it 8 million times this season. But
very fair.
Nobody's going home because the max field size for the trucks is 36 trucks. 35.
I knew it was either 36 or 37. I couldn't remember. I almost said 37.
Now, your Xfinity only fields 38 cars, and there's 40 cars showing up. So 2 people are going home. See who that is. But your Dash for Cash 4, potential to win $100,000, be the number 2 of Jesse Love, the 7 of Justin Allgaier, the 21 of Austin Hill, and the 41 of Sam Mayer.
And just a reminder, the 7 of Justin Allgaier last week, so he has the potential to win it again.
Correct.
So, just a reminder. But on the Cup side of things, this one I'm kind of excited for. There will be 38 cars, and I think the field is up to 40.
Yeah.
Unless the other teams do that provisional thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think will be the case this race, because the thing that I'm excited for is 50 of Burt Myers in the Amerivet. Is it still Amerivet? I feel
Amerivet,
like. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if they changed it from Amerivet or to Amerivet. So
to Amerivet. It used to be the money team.
Yeah, that's what it was. But he's going to be running in Martinsville, which is very cool, because we've seen him at the Clash. Unfortunately, he got into it with one of his rivals there on track, Tim Brown, and hit the wall pretty hard and tore his engine up. So we didn't get to see him finish, but maybe he'll finish this one. But not only will he be there, but the 66 of Casey Mears will be in there. And we talked a little bit about Casey at the beginning of the show. If you don't know, he raced once upon a time ago, and I want to say the 19. I could be wrong.
Sorry, I got people texting me coming over for my wife.
Man, you feel like your wife's important. I'm literally looking to see what car he. No, I take that back. He was in the 25 National Guard.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I had his scheme up as part of Sleep Scheme Spotlight before.
Yeah. I don't. I always think of Jeremy Mayfield when I think of Casey Mears for some reason. I always get those two mixed up, obviously. But yeah, I wish that he would run. I wish he would run the National Guard again because I think it'd be awesome to see the National Guard sponsor a car again.
I think you gotta wait for a throwback weekend for that.
I didn't say that car. I said I just wish that he would bring the National Guard sponsorship. I also wish that on the Coke 600 we could get all the branches. So I think that would be really cool. Have like an Army and a Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Marines. Yeah, I would even be okay if you threw the Space Force in there.
Yeah, be cool.
Yeah. Have a battle of the... Oh, see, they could coin it Battle of the Branches, bro. I'm on it now.
Didn't they have a race to where they had a bunch of the branches that came to the same track?
The only one that I know of, they had 3. They had the Army, the Marines, and the Navy.
Yeah.
You know how listen, hang on. I'm kind of staying on that subject just for a second.
All right.
You know how American that race would be if they did it on the Coke 600?
Dude, that'd be epic with all the paint.
Bro.
Just think if they made the Coke 600 mandatory patriotic paint schemes.
Oh, dude, I would have to buy the whole field. That's not fair.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. And then, like, bro, to have like a promo where, like, you know, they do like 50-50, like an old school, like, racetrack. And then they could do, like, you know, 10% of all proceeds go to Wounded Warriors Project.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sick.
That would be.
I would be at that race, homie.
It might be hard to get tickets to it.
Oh, that's
Be like
fair.
the next Daytona 500.
See, now if they did the Daytona 500 like that, that would be cool too, because it's the Great American Race.
Yeah.
The
Don't
Coke
push it.
600 fits better.
Don't push it. No, Chicago Street
know.
Course would kind of fit in too because July 4th weekend.
That's true. Tis
Anyways,
true.
let's move on to our new sponsors of Martinsville.
Voodoo said, not to crush your dreams, but it won't ever happen. So
Exactly.
All right. So, let's go ahead through our new sponsors.
You want me to start off? I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Mr. Noah Craxton, that number 4 is going to have a new scheme. A&W root beer, baby.
Yes,
Getting them on there in
sir.
a while. It'll be pretty.
Oh, Ty Dillon's gonna have Mark III employee benefits.
I think that sponsor last season was with Kyle Busch.
There's a lot of sponsors that were with Kyle Busch that's kind of moved over.
Well, see how awesome he did last season?
Oh yeah,
He didn't.
top 10.
All right. AJ Allmendinger.
The danger.
Gonna have Black's Tire. That's his sponsor this weekend.
It's a solid scheme.
Yeah, not too bad.
I mean, it's definitely not a 5 low.
No, definitely not. There might be one that might pull the number 5 or the 5
Oh, you
low,
know?
but we'll see.
But next we got Chris Buescher in the Kroger El Paso car. I have Ricky Stenthouse's. I have one of his sheet metals from the El Paso car he ran last year.
Think there's gonna be tacos on it again.
I hope so. Speaking of tacos, I have my taco piñata signed by Daniel Suarez. Thanks, wrap it up. Right next to my El Paso sheet metal because who doesn't love tacos?
Right.
If only I could get like a Taco Bell sponsored car and like the hood off that car. I'd have a full set. I'd be happy.
Good luck.
I don't know.
Here's a scheme that you might want though. Well, Christopher Bell coming in with a new DeWalt scheme. He's got DeWalt Outdoors.
It's got grass on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what's wrong with it. It's got grass on it.
Yeah, that's for when he slides to the infield. He won't be able to notice. Oh wait, Martinsville doesn't have an infield.
You should have ran it for Daytona.
Yeah, then he could have slid through the infield and nobody would have known anything different.
Right. I do like the scheme actually. It's one of the better DeWalt. I mean, its DeWalt scheme is gonna be black and yellow.
The only
They just
problem
have,
I
like,
have, if you look at the back behind the tire back there, I can't tell if they like messed up the rendering or if it just lines up with the grass perfectly. But it looks like the gas hole is just kind of floating there.
Let's move on. Before I
Hole.
make it. No, that's not what I was gonna say. Gosh dang it, Chris, you lost the gas hole. Todd Gilliland's running his Color Tech car.
Oh man, I don't know what that one's gonna look like, but I imagine it's gonna have some colors.
Imagine. Oh, see, now listen. If I could get a Todd Gilliland Taco Bell hood from like Car of Tomorrow era,
Yeah.
oh,
My rookie's getting a new scheme for this weekend. Lucy Breakers.
ooh, I like that. Actually, it's really cool.
Seems like
it's got
these nicotine companies are jumping back into NASCAR big time.
Winston and Marlboro and Camel, hear me out. I don't like your product, but I liked your race cars. I need you to come back, buddy.
Yeah, good luck with that one too. But I do like this one. Nice little change of scenery.
I do like this. It's like simplistic, but in a way that like pulls it off really well.
Yeah,
Like you have the droplets of like little green. I'm assuming nicotine.
yeah.
I like it. This one might actually get my 5 low, depending. We'll see when we get there on Thursday when y'all guys see it.
Yeah. Got plenty of schemes that have not been revealed yet.
Yes, sir. We also have Tyler Reddick's Mobile One / O'Reilly Auto Parts. That's pretty cool.
Red, white, and blue, and red, green get together.
Well, they might just do like the white and red off of O'Reilly. The O'Reilly's logo is like red with like the black O'Reilly's or the green, not black.
Yeah, maybe so. Ricky Stenhouse changing it up again. He's gonna have his team sponsor, Hayek Motorsports. See how that turns out. That'd actually be kind of cool because usually the team sponsors are pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Burt Myers is running a C3 car. Take a look at that. It's kind of plain for my taste. Not bad, but kind of plain.
I like the number on it. 'Cause it's got like that marble texture to it.
I do like the number on it. It looks like most of the scheme has that, except for the 3 and the part that I'm like, eh. I don't know if it was just rendered weird or.
Yeah, I don't know, because it doesn't look like the red is marbled either. But.
Or I don't know. I was talking more of like around the bottom strip and like all the black on the car looks marble.
Yeah, it does.
But like the red doesn't. But I don't know that C3. If that's the way it actually comes out, it just looks weird to me.
It does.
But hopefully it looks better on track.
Next
That's
up,
a lot of these. That's a lot of these schemes. Like we review and stuff. Like we might look at the thing that the teams put out and we're like, oh, that's going to be a terrible scheme. And then we like look at them on track and we're like, oh, that actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Casey Mears and his Hitchco scheme.
It's definitely not digital camo.
I love that black and orange.
I bet you do.
Could have used a little more orange though.
That's what I was going to say. The only thing that I have against this car is like, it looks like a monster car, but substitute orange with green.
With that zero sugar orange.
It could be. That's my only thing about that car. It's kind of bland.
Not leak.
Yes, sir. We got old Michael McDowell running RaceTheRock.com. I like this scheme. I really like this scheme.
Bringing attention to Rockingham.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to see Rockingham. So for those of you guys that don't know, Rockingham is one of my absolute favorite tracks. I am so stoked about it. The Trucks and Xfinity running it this year. I wish that Cup would run it again.
Forward to that weekend.
But this car, I'm going to have to buy this car if they make it.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't know. I want to buy that car. You say that you don't see that, you don't know why they wouldn't, but also how many pre-orders we have canceled?
Too damn many.
I know. I hope my one doesn't get canceled. I'm gonna be a little upset if it does. I don't think it
If
will.
the Backstreet Boys car gets canceled, I might go on a rampage.
Yep. You guys will be ready to hear a rant from both of us. I promise. Because I've got mine pre-ordered. I know. Did you pre-order the 124 or 164?
You really need to ask that question.
I don't know. Because I pre-ordered the 164.
I pre-ordered the 124, sir. I collect 124th. I just so happen to have some 164th in my collection.
You're welcome.
My primary is 124th.
My problem is I'm just out of space. That is my biggest problem.
Well, me too.
That. Do you really want to play this game?
Nope, I want to move on to F cubed.
All right, let's roll it. S Cubed is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing. Use code RHPD to support the podcast when you check out with all your good F1 and NASCAR needs. We talk about it all the time. I order off there. Not, but I definitely do. They are very quick. Their products are pretty good priced. And if you use that code, it is no extra cost to you. We just get a little bit off the top. So
They just added a whole bunch of new stuff on there too.
Oh yeah.
No much.
Sure. So I have the pick from this last race, and how could I not pick that beautiful, like green and pink Columbia fish scale car? I mean, the PFG Columbia scheme. This is one of my favorites this year. I just really like the scheme. I mean, granted, he didn't do terrible, because he started ninth and did finish third, and he did get some stage points in stage 2. Finished 5th in stage 2, so He did a pretty good one. I'm gonna have to get this car. I love the color scheme on this. You got your blues going into your like aqua greens, going into your yellow. It just looks a lot better than Chase Briscoe's fish scheme.
Yeah. I agree with that one. Ugly old fish they picked for his.
I know. They picked a realistic one for his.
Bubba is a snake. Sneaky snake.
Yeah, I don't really care for the driver. I just like the scheme.
Yeah, it's a nice scheme. I'll give you that much. Nice scheme. I think the pink really helped pop it off too.
Oh yeah. It gives you that 90s vibe.
Yeah.
I like it. But I like the Columbia schemes. All those are pretty good.
So my scheme from the past, I went with a Joey Logano scheme. You know why?
Because he sucks.
Well, I mean, that's not the reason. But today's his birthday too. So gotta go
Aw.
Joey Logano. So happy birthday, Joey Logano. Happy birthday, my wife. Happy birthday, my god kid. Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on. Anywho's the 2016, right? 2016 Bojangles Southern 500 Arlington Raceway. Nice old Shell Pennzoil scheme. I would rather see this than current ones that he runs.
100%.
This was also during throwback weekend, so that kind of helped out a little bit. He started fifth and finished fifth. I thought about doing that one, but I was pretty sure that we had already.
We've already done that one. We've already done one of them. There's been a couple that are like real similar.
He started fifth, finished fifth, and I would give this a 5 lug. Out on track.
It'd probably get a 4. It's not my favorite scheme, but
Nobody asked you.
Okay. But that is all we've got for this episode as far as NASCAR news. We do need you to go down below and hit that little subscribe button if you haven't already. We're 121. Is it? I thought it was 122.
We were. And then when I looked earlier, we were back down to 121. So somebody left. That's okay that you don't like us.
Yeah. Well, I know YouTube sometimes does that weird thing where it'll unsubscribe you if you don't watch it as often. But anyway, go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed. And while you're at it, hit that little bell icon because that'll tell you when we post. Because we don't just post on Mondays. We also post on Thursdays. And your paint schemes usually come out on Wednesdays, right?
It depends on how quick we get all of the schemes. Usually Wednesday if I can. If not, it'll be Thursday. Latest will be Friday. And we'll just throw it out with missing schemes.
That, and you never know what kind of crazy stuff we're cooking up because we've tossed around some ideas, and some stuff you'll just have to wait to see what we materialize.
I think that episode with wrap it up. I think we might plan.
You gotta stop that.
Might plan on releasing that on just regular old YouTube on maybe Friday.
Sounds good. Yep. But we also have merch, like we mentioned before. We've got some driver stuff. As far as Cucumber Cowboy, we've got Matty D Burrito, Joey Lasagna, Fast Pasta. We've got a few of those, and then we also just have our regular logo stuff. That. So if you guys wanted to rep the merch, we would greatly appreciate it. Yeah. We also will be doing some giveaways this season at some point, so be sure to tune in for that one. We're going to switch it up a little bit on how to get entered in this year. We also have a fantasy league, which I mean you're going a little, but if you've been doing your own league and you want to jump into our, I'm pretty sure it brings your points over as long as they're from this season.
Yep.
So if you want to check us out, go through the fantasy thing on NASCAR.com and search Raise Hale, that's HALE, Praisedale Podcast. If it doesn't say podcast, it's not us, so make sure it says podcast at the end of it. And our password is all lower cases, RHPD2024. Get in that because at the end of the season, the winner of that series will have a 164th from the Lionel of your choosing. Go ahead and follow our socials. I've kind of been really busy with a lot of family stuff, so I haven't really been able to post, but this week I will pick that back up. So if you want to go check our Facebook and our TikTok and all that good stuff, go check us out. It's usually either up in this corner. You'll see it every now and then flash, or you can go down in the description. So,
Indeed.
I think that's everything. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, sir. Since I had the older scheme, it's your turn to sign us off.
Yes, sir. I need to get a new sign off. Mine's way longer than yours, and I don't like it. Maybe next episode.
Maybe.
But until then, thank you guys so much for riding shotgun. Race hail, praise Dale. Remember, the checker flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So until next time, keep the pedal to the metal and the passion for racing burning. This is Raise Hail, Praise Dale signing off.